Welcome to 2009 Hyundai Accent OEM front and rear mud flap installation. Today we're going to show you how to install the mud flaps from Hyundai, as well as some information about crown rust proofing and car maintenance. Take care of the body during the winter months. Up here we get a lot of salt, and as you see there's some salt right there on the bumper, on the front one. So I'm going to take this car out, go get it washed, and once I get it all nice and cleaned up, we'll continue then. And I'll show you the mud flaps that I purchased. I bought the mud flaps from Hyundai. They were 22 and change each. So when I first bought the car 3 years ago, I was offered to get them as an accessory installation. I turned them down, but after a couple years of driving, I'm starting to see a little bit of signs of chippage. So I'm going to show you why it's important you put the mud flaps on this car. And if you plan to keep your vehicle and drive it for many years to come, then you want to take care of it. And the mud flaps will stop the spatter from coming up the door, and also prevent stone chips. So we'll go get the mud flaps. First, we're going to go down and wash the car, and then continue. Okay, so here's the mud flaps. They come in boxes. They look like this. Let's see, for the Hyundai Accent 2009 4-door. Part number is 08460-1E000. This would be the front kit, and the rear kit is 08460-1E500. And let's see here. They said $30.98 for the one, $22.95 for the rear. But they gave me a discount, charging $50 flat for it, taxes included. So let's take a look at the boxes here, see what we get in here. So these are the fronts. So they come with two pieces, just like this, pre-molded. They'll fit right in underneath the car. And this is the one bolt that pushes in, and then the two existing screws lock it in here with another screw there. And this one's the same on the opposite side. So I'm hoping that these will stop the road salt from splashing up onto the door panels. And right here they give you a nice little description of how to install it. It's pretty basic. So we're going to cover the video on how to do that. I'm going to go up to the garage. Comes with a bag of bolts. So that's the fronts. Let's see what we got for the rears here. They're a little different on the rear. Same design though, same idea. Two of these. Another set of instructions for the rear. How to install them on the rear. And then you also get another little bag of bolts. So these are the front and rear mud flaps. Just want to show you, these are all the OEM Hyundai parts. So we're going to go out to the garage right now and install. Okay, so here's the front. I was going around the wheel well looking for any nicks, and I come across this right here. I filled it in already with a paint stick from Hyundai. You put the paint on there and they put the clear coat on. And this here is the, see how it's black? I sprayed that with undercoating just to protect it from the rust. Just along the edge there, I gotta respray it. It's just I did that on my own a couple months ago. Now, let's see here. Ooh, did we bring the keys out here? Okay. Yes. Okay, I thought I'd cover also in this video. Let's unlock the car here. Is Crown. For $119 a month, they spray the car. Let's open the door here. Take a look. What they do is they pre-drill holes right here, 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 in the trunk, and on the other side, passenger side. Let's see here. Let's open the back door. See those black dots? Those are all pre-drilled holes. And what they do is they put the gun in these holes and they spray it inside the panels. And because when a car rusts, it rusts from the inside out, not from the outside in. A lot of people think that it's that way, but it's actually, the rust starts from the inside and comes out. So This car has been rust proofed since it was brand new, so it has zero rust on it. Okay, so you're going to want to walk around the car. You just want to check all the body underneath the rail wells on the edges for any paint chips, and you're going to want to touch them up with the paint stick. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the mud flaps on, and that's going to stop the what happens is the spray comes from the tire, it hits here, and it hits here, and it sprays up the door. So you're going to prevent that from happening, and that'll save on damages on the bodywork. So that's what we want to get the mud flaps. And if that's how to make a video for any of you guys who don't have them, I want to install them, I'll show you how to do it. So let's get at it. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to remove this tire, jack the car up, put the jack stand between the markings that's covered in other videos, and the jack stand behind the rubber grommet for support, and then remove the tire so we can have access to the inner well. It's a lot easier to work with the tire off than it is to work with the tire on. So let's get this tire off and continue. Okay, I just thought I'd show you this real quick too. You can use a hydraulic jack. Just put it where the rubber grommet is. Here's the tire. This is the front. And just put the jack stand behind the rail there, behind it. And then let it down, lower it on the jack stand. Just like that. So, just wanted to show you that real quick. I just wanted to use this jack. It's a lot quicker than the scissor jack. Okay, 21mm socket. Should be good. Get these nuts off real quick here. Okay, so we're going to grab our mud flap like this. What you're going to do is, it already comes with some bolts on here. You're going to take these bolts off, and this bolt right here. And then there's a push nut underneath, which goes in here. You push it in, and it expands. Looking at these bolts here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Remember the fuel air filter? The bolt goes in and expands. This one goes in like this. Pushes in like this, through here, pops up. There's a pre-drilled hole down here, or fixed right there. I'm not going to show you, but you can figure it out yourself. And then the screw holes, they're already pre-done, and you can see how that fits like that? So you're going to put that screw there, that screw there, that screw there, and push this one underneath. And that's it. That's how you install the front mud flap. Okay, so grab our star screwdriver. You can choose to use the bolts in the package, or you can just use the existing hardware. Oh, that one's a little harder to get out. No, I think they give you the extra bolts because if you don't put these on for a while, these bolts will get rusted out, I guess. I don't know. They give you fresh ones. Take that bolt out there. Gotta take this bolt off here, or I'll get myself a ratchet. Be right back. Okay, back to our tool shock. 10mm. Put that on there. Take that nut off. Right there, that bolt there. Take that one out. And that's a plastic bolt too. So the hardware already comes on the car. I don't know why they gave you a bag of bolts, but so you can use the existing hardware to install this. So let's get this flap on and show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, all the bolts are off. Grab your mud flap, put it on there, just like so. Take your existing bolts, put them through, just like that. Anybody could do this. This type of installation is really easy. I like the protection though. See how it rugs around the rail? All the crap gets stuck in here. There we go. One. Second screw in. install these, it takes like 5 minutes aside. So screw that in there like that. Nice and tight. Take our 10mm bolt. Everything's in metric on this car. Put that bolt on there. Ratchet. And our push screw. Push that bolt in. There you go. So how does that look? Let's take a look at the there you go. So that's how you install the fronts. That's what it looks like. And that's going to give me protection from all this in here. It's all going to be protected now because of that mud flap. So it's a good idea to purchase these. Help protect your car because a lot of the crap from the tire gets flinged up in that area, and that's the first place to rust out. So now we're done the fronts. Let's go do the rears. You're going to do this on the other side as well. Here's the other one. I'm not going to show you how to do it because now I just showed you this side. It's the same thing on the other side. So let's get the rear tire off and we'll put the rears on. Okay, now that the bolts are on, hand tight, you lower the car. You have the 21mm socket. Now this torque wrench, it's important I cover this. When you're done this job, make sure you zero out the torque wrench, because if you leave it at 80 foot-pounds and then you put it in the shelf, it'll cause your torque wrench not to work properly. So you need to zero out your torque wrench every time you're done using it for the day. So put on the bolts here. Just like that. Just want to check them again, just make sure. That's the proper way to torque the bolts. Okay, we're on the rear. I never showed this in other videos where to place the hydraulic jack, but I just used a small little weight, weightlifting weight, to support the base of that spring, because that bottom piece of metal has a hole in it. You need to support the whole platform. And then I put just the little end of the jack stand underneath the weight and jacked it up. And then once that's how I jacked the car up with this hydraulic jack. Same as the other video. See that double piece of metal? So you get a better shot. Right there. You don't want to hit up against that part there. You want to put just before that. And then lower down the jack stand. And that's where you put the jack stand to support it. Or you would just use a scissor jack here, like I showed in other videos, and then put the jack stand there. So if you don't want to use the scissor jack, you can use the hydraulic jack and achieve the same result. But like I said, there's not that many places to jack up the car. So there you go. So that's what I've done to jack the car up. Just an idea. Make sure you have something there, a piece of wood, a plate or something underneath that spring, because if you try this, you don't support it, the whole base of the spring. I'm not too sure if you can poke a hole through it or not, but the car sits on that spring anyway when it's riding. So you see the spring right there? Just like that. So that's what I've done to jack the car up. So we're going to remove this tire, and then we're going to install the rear the rear OEM mud flap for Hyundai. Okay, so now we got the tire off. There you go. That's what I've done. There's a lot of metal down there, and there's a spring, and with that plate distributing the weight of the vehicle on there, that's a safe place to jack it up. Okay, so you can do it with a small jack or a low profile jack, whatever you want. So let's see, we got a bolt here, let's get our mud flap out here. You want to hold the camera? There you go. Okay, just don't hit the light though, so you can see. Okay, so we got ourselves our rear mud flap. I think it's this one. It goes like that. There you go. Same thing. 2 screws, 1, 2, and then there's a hole there. Let's see if I can find a hole. See the camera? Okay. And there you go. Same thing. That's the plastic screw that pushes in. So let's get this installed and show you what it looks like when it's done. There you go. Take the screwdriver out. Take off this bolt. I'm surprised how easy these are actually to install. Okay. Got this bolt here. Take this bolt out. There we go. And put my flap on. I guess you'd have to take this off if you do the fuel filter change. So if you have one of these, you got to take this off if you do the air filter, because this is all attached to one piece. So let's get the butted bolt on underneath here. There it is. Right here. Put that underneath there. Okay, so this is it right here. This is a little tight to get this flap on, because this plastic here seems to flex over time and warp a little. You put the plastic bolt in there and push the bolt in. It locks it in. Keeps that mud flap secure against the fender. And I'm just going to pull up here. Let's get our light. And once you've done that, you're going to tighten these up and tighten that up there. Just put them in partially until you get it adjusted and they're all in the holes, and then tighten them all. Because if you tighten them first, you're going to have a hard time getting this on. There you go. That's the rear installation of the rear mud flap. And you also learned something new about jacking up the car with a hydraulic jack. So, there you go. I'm going to put the tire back on. Same thing. These are 80 foot-pounds. Torque it in this part, here to here, here to here. Let's go into the car here. I don't know if you can see this, but this is what happens when you work at home. Look how nice that looks. Look at the gas tank. Look at the black. There's zero rust. It's really nice under there. What the crown does, it protects. Okay, there's the jack stand. This black stuff I sprayed on. You don't have to do that. Let's get the light here. Let's go underneath the car. Take a look. Show you what the crown does. You get the idea. Looks beautiful under there. And I think too is, let's see here, see all those lines? Those are all protected too as well, if you get it underspread. So you're saving yourself money for brake lines, fuel lines, and from rusting out. So, especially up in Canada. So, you should always rust-proof your car, protect your investment. So that's a great way of jacking up a car right there, just like that. And you know what? From now on, I'm going to be using the hydraulic jack. I use the scissor jack in my other videos, but if you really want to work on your car and do it right, you should be using a hydraulic jack and a jack stand to keep it secure. So there really is nowhere. I'm looking under the car here. There's absolutely nowhere. You can't jack up here on that bar. You'll dent it, and that's not a good place to jack it up. There's very few jack points on the rear on this car. I've heard people say you can jack up on the tow hook right there, but I wouldn't even do that. So, and you don't want to jack up on the control arms. You'll damage and dent them. So it's either the jack point for scissor jack, or that point there, or that point there for the rear. So you already saw the fronts where I jack it up and where I support it. So anyway, just thought I'd show you this extra part. Crown is a good product. I'm very pleased with it. My price is locked in for as long as I own the car, because I got a new car warranty. So if any rust proliferation happens, they cover it for free, so I don't have to pay for any body work. So that's awesome. So you don't have to worry about the outside of the car degrading and rusting away on me. So thank you for watching 2009 Hyundai Accent front and rear mud flap OEM installation and information on rust proofing your car. So I hope you enjoy the videos. Please comment, subscribe, leave a comment. Maybe I can add more videos in the future and help out the DIY guys, save some money. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.